Silicon built the modern world, but silicon cannot do 6G. Push it past a certain frequency, heats up, it gets noisy, it breaks down. So engineers reach for a different element. One that runs faster, stays cooler, and one that China happens to control. This is indium phosphide. Hi, this is Evans from Crazy Chemistry, and today we are going to speak about indium phosphide, the compound semiconductor that sits on the heart of 6G, fiber optics, and next generation AI hardware. It's an energy story and a supply chain story. So before we get into chemistry, why does this matter right now? Why is Nvidia putting $1 billion into Nokia? Why did a tiny British company called IQE go from 7p to 60p? Mr. Clem from Clem Chambers, Forbes senior contributor, has been watching this story unfold. Over to him.
So indium phosphide, this is another one of those technology China bottlenecks. And it's all about 6G. You know, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G. That is the platform for mobiles that's coming next. And I mentioned on my Clem Chambers Alpha channel that Nokia was a very interesting stock, because forget crummy old phones from yesteryear, they're the back end of mobile technology, while the Chinese are getting kicked out of it because of the fear of backdoors for China against the West, and they are front and center in that new role, which is to onshore mobile phone technology and making America great again, 6G. So Nvidia has put $1 billion into them. And a little company, which I pointed out a few months ago, called IQE, which was 7p, went to 60, raised a ton of money now at 40 something. Well, they raised it at 20, but the price is at 40 right now. That's all part of this story. And I didn't realize until I was looking into indium that all roads lead to, well, not Rome, but wherever they're digging this stuff up and wherever they're putting it to work. So let me try to break down how it all fits together. When things get hot, their ways of doing things changes. And if you want to run really fast mobile phones, stuff gets hot. You're dealing with very, very fast frequencies, and that generates heat. And the old ways of doing things with silicon stop working. You get lots and lots of noise, you get lots and lots of heat, and it all goes pear-shaped. So the answer to that is to use indium phosphide. I want to say phosphate, but that's probably fertilizer. Indium phosphide. And that runs at higher temperatures, and it isn't noisy. So if you want to go and have really, really supersonically high speed connections on your mobile phone, indium phosphide is the one. Okay, so now you're in a supply chain, and that supply chain goes the metal, it then goes into the wafer, and then it goes into epitaxy, go work that one out, and then it goes into the photonics, and then it goes into gluing it all in, the packaging, and then it goes to actually take the finished product and put it into systems. So there's a whole supply chain there, and this is the leading edge. So it's a fragile supply chain. It's one that's going to come under a lot of pressure. But at the base of it is indium. Indium is a strategic metal and a critical mineral. So basically right now, same old story, China controls the whole shebang. Well, not quite the whole shebang, but if it said, no, you can't have this stuff, that would be it. This stuff is critical and strategic, which everything is these days. In the old days, nothing was critical or strategic. Everybody was friends, global supply chains, globalization, and thanks to China and America, that's all going south. So now you have to be able to do it onshore. And in Europe, well, that's going to be Nokia and Ericsson, and out comes Nvidia, who wants to put AI into mobile phones, not particularly surprising that one, and also use AI to drive efficiency, not particularly surprising that one. And they kicked over $1 billion to Nokia. And if you trace it all back, why has IQE gone through the roof? Oh, why is Nokia going through the roof? 6G. Indium phosphide.
Thanks, Mr. Clem. So now that we know why it matters, now let's talk about why it works, because the answer is not obvious. Why does this one compound beat silicon at the highest frequencies on Earth? It comes down to electrons and how fast they can move. Indium phosphide has this chemical formula. Indium is element number 49, a soft silvery metal. Phosphorus is element number 15, which is a non-metal. You bond them together 1 to 1 in a zinc blende crystal, the same lattice as a diamond, but with two different atoms taking turns. The result is a 3-5 compound semiconductor. 3 valence electrons from indium and 5 from phosphorus. Average of 4. Same as silicon, but the chemistry is completely different. Every semiconductor has a bandgap. That's the energy gap between the electrons that are stuck and the electrons that are free to move and carry current. Silicon's bandgap is 1.12 electron volts, while indium phosphide is 1.34. Slightly higher, but this is all it matters. Higher bandgap means that the material can tolerate more heat before electrons leak across and you lose signal. But here's the real difference. Silicon has what is called an indirect bandgap. When the electrons drop down, they can't release that energy as light. It gives it to the crystal as a vibration, as heat. Indium phosphide, on the other hand, has a direct bandgap. The electrons drop and the energy comes out as a photon, which is light. That's why every fiber optic transceiver in the world, the lasers that carry the internet across the world and across the ocean, use indium phosphide. Silicon physically cannot do it. Now, the property that makes 6G possible. Electron mobility. How fast an electron can travel across the crystal when you apply voltage. In silicon, about 1400 centimeters square per volt second. In indium phosphide, over 5400. Nearly 4 times faster. Why? Because of something called effective mass. In the indium phosphide lattice, electrons behave as if they weigh less. They accelerate faster and they respond to electric field faster. And they can switch on and off on terahertz frequencies. Frequencies that silicon transistors cannot really reach. 6G targets frequencies above 100 GHz. Some bands push towards terahertz. At those speeds, silicon stops being a semiconductor and starts being a problem. Indium phosphide, though, keeps going. 2 more things engineers care about is heat and noise. Since indium phosphide has a higher bandgap, it can keep being a semiconductor at higher temperature, can withstand more heat. Silicon devices starts failing at about 150 degrees Celsius, while indium phosphide keeps working past 200 degrees Celsius. At higher frequencies, electrons in silicon scatter randomly. They generate random electrical noises that drowns out weak signal. Indium phosphide lattice is cleaner for fast electrons. Less scattering, less noise. Quickly the chemistry. The electron configuration of indium looks like this, and the electron configuration of phosphorus looks like this. 3 valence electrons and 5 valence electrons. Together they share electron pairs in covalent bonds, but with a twist. Phosphorus is more electronegative, so the bond is partly ionic, about 42% ionic character. That mixed covalent backbone ionic edge is what gives to 3-5 semiconductor their unique electronic behavior. It's a reason why indium phosphide exists as a material overall. And here's why supply chain story is so important. Indium is rare, about 0.25 parts per million in Earth's crust. It is mostly recovered as a byproduct of zinc mining. China refines approximately 60% of world supply. Then you need ultra pure phosphorus and you melt them together at 1000 degrees Celsius under high pressure, and you have to grow a single crystal, atom by atom, without inducing any defect in the process. Then you slice the crystal into wafers, then epitaxy, growing thin layers on top, 1 atomic layer at a time. Then the photonics, then packaging. Every single step is harder than silicon, and every single step is concentrated in less hands. That's the bottleneck. So that's indium phosphide, an element pair you've never heard of, doing the work that silicon can't. Running cooler, faster, and quieter at frequencies that silicon cannot operate. Silicon built the last 50 years, and indium phosphide is gonna carry the next 10. And whoever controls it, controls 6G. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it. Leave a comment if you like. I'll see you next time.